Hello, my name is Allison Jones, and I'm here interviewing Professor Maria Anderson, who is one of the Literary Feast participants of 2009. Professor Anderson teaches English for the BC College. Her newest novel, Werewolf Dreams. And how did you begin writing?
Well, I just want to say thank you very much for inviting me. I really appreciate it, Allison. Werewolf Dreams, actually, it's kind of a strange inspiration, actually a tragic inspiration. My father was a New York City police officer, and he was killed in the line of duty. He was off duty, but he was killed stopping a robbery in Lower Manhattan. So after that, I had always had a desire to write. I was always writing short stories, telling stories, but I wanted to write a tribute to my dad. And in the beginning, everything that came out was really sad and morose and not at all typical of my father. So as time went on, I decided to look at his qualities, and he was hairy, and he hated bullies. He stood up for other people who, were in trouble. So over time, I created Seamus Sullivan, who was a werewolf and a New City police officer. So really, that was the inspiration for the story, my father.
Very cool.
Thank you.
And when did you begin writing?
I've been playing with the idea for maybe 10 years, but I didn't actually start writing the book until about 3 years ago. I actually sat down with my ideas and made it happen on the page. So about 3 years. It took me 9 months to write the book from beginning to end, once I was outlined. And then the process of sending out copies and trying to find an agent and a publisher was almost more difficult than writing the book itself. Yeah. But that's how long it takes a while.
Yeah, well, that's what we're hearing. And do you have any current projects?
Werewolf Dreams is the first in a series, and right now I'm working on the second book in the series, which is called Werewolf Love Until Death Do Us Part. And the first chapter of the second book is at the end of this book, kind of like a teaser. So I'm working on that one. And then my third book, which will be titled Werewolf Honor, has been outlined, but I haven't begun writing that one yet.
Well, we look forward to those.
Oh, thank you.
And what's the hardest part about writing?
The hardest part about writing is really finding the time. I mean, I have the ideas. I don't get bogged down with writer's block, but it's finding the quiet time. And I call myself a vampire writer because I have a 10-year-old and a 12-year-old. I have dogs, I have cats, the telephone rings, I work at BC, I have papers to grade. So even if I have time during the day, it's usually interrupted time. So I wait until everybody goes to sleep at night so I can sit down quietly and begin to write. Sometimes I'll take a nap when everybody goes to bed, and then I'll get back up. But usually I write from about 11 at night till 3, 4 in the morning. Wow. So that's the challenge, getting up the next morning and answering the alarm and making breakfast and, not being a vampire when the light is on.
Yeah. Well, speaking of vampires, there are a lot of novels out about these vampires, werewolves. How is yours different than all the others?
Well, that's a very good question. Yes, there are a lot of vampires and werewolves. It's good timing with my book. I didn't, plan it that way. You never know what's going to be popular. But my book is a little bit different. First of all, I don't read the popular fiction right now. I don't watch the shows because I don't want to be influenced. Yeah. And, it's very easy to be influenced.
Yeah, you don't want to bring that into
No, I don't want to bring those stories into my book. That said, I used to read a lot of Anne Rice, and I loved her her vampires and her witches. But I tend to see that these kind of creatures feel guilty about what they do. Mm-hmm. They're very troubled by who they are. Unlike my characters, you will never see Seamus feeling guilty for eating a bad guy. It's just they deserve to not be here anymore. And also, I like to mix humor and scary and gory, because when I'm watching a scary movie, I don't want to be totally scared. I need the comic relief. Yeah. So I have comic characters in here and silly situations, and I sort of make fun of the genre while I'm scaring somebody. So I think that's the difference with my book and the other books that are popular right now. It's the humor and the no conscience.
Yeah. Well, is there anybody in particular that has read your book that said whether they liked it?
You know, I got a wonderful review from Francine Brokaw, and she writes, she's out in California, and she does amazing reviews for TV and newspapers and movies. So a friend of a friend introduced us, and I sent her an early copy of the book, and she just gave me a review. I was like, oh, wow. I was so touched and so thrilled. So it's posted on my webpage, which is www.werewolfdreams.net or www.mmanderson.net. So you can read the reviews. I've been on a couple of teen blog sites and done some radio interviews, so all of that is there if you're interested.
Very cool.
Yeah, it is very cool. And today actually is the official day, September 1st, that my book comes out.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Big day.
It is
well,
a big
thank you
day.
so much for being
Oh,
here.
thank you for having
me. It's a great
me.
opportunity to have everybody here and be able to, well, for you, debut your book. Congratulations
Thank you very much.
again, and thank you.
I appreciate it.